Hello. Raz, dwa. Test mikrofonu. I test mikrofonu. Test mikrofonu. Test mikrofonu. Test mikrofonu. Test mikrofonu. Teraz test. Zastanawiam się nad słuchalnością. Ostatni test, ostatni test, ostatni test, ostatni test. Raz, dwa, trzy. Oddalam mikrofon, oddalam mikrofon. Przybliżam mikrofon, oddalam. Raz, dwa, raz, dwa.
Raz. Please take your seats. We'll start with a short promo video and then we'll ask the mayor of the city of Rzeszów to take the floor, okay?
Jako pierwsi na świecie wprowadzamy tego typu produkt do seryjnej produkcji.
Każdy Dreamliner lata z silnikami APU wyprodukowanymi właśnie tutaj, w Rzeszowie.
Można śmiało powiedzieć, że to jest około kilku milionów ludzi.
Kolekcję projektuje 3 osoby. Ja też jestem częścią tego zespołu, bo to jest ulubiona część mojej pracy.
Produkujemy huby USB, ładowarki indukcyjne, mikrofony, piloty oraz boksy sterujące różnymi funkcjami w samochodzie. Daimler, BMW, Volkswagen, Porsche, Bentley.
Tutaj widać szybę. Z pozoru zwykła szyba, przeźroczysta, ale tak naprawdę ona w środku jest bardziej skomplikowana. Ma w sobie wiele warstw, które z jednej strony zatrzymują ciepło wpadające do środka w lecie, zatrzymują zimno uciekające w zimie z budynku, ale przede wszystkim produkują prąd. Widać tu w tej chwili napięcie i prąd, która ta szyba generuje, nawet ze sztucznego oświetlenia. Dla takiej szyby nie ma znaczenia kąt padania światła.
To jest serce firmy. To miejsce, w tym miejscu powstają nasze projekty. W tym miejscu dobieramy tkaniny, rysujemy wzory, robimy prototypy, konstrukcje, przymiarki. Także to jest clou naszej działalności.
Tradycja biznesu lotniczego w tym miejscu, w centrum Rzeszowa, sięga ponad 80 lat. Pratt & Whitney Rzeszów oraz Pratt & Whitney Aeropower Rzeszów zatrudniają łącznie niemal 4000 pracowników i produkują silniki lotnicze napędzające najnowocześniejsze samoloty na świecie. Obie firmy należą do stowarzyszenia Dolina Lotnicza, zrzeszającego największe firmy lotnicze z regionu Podkarpacia.
Jesteśmy głównym dostawcą silników APS 5000 dla Boeinga 787 Dreamliner, który zasila systemy samolotu przed uruchomieniem silników głównych. W Pratt & Whitney Aeropower Rzeszów produkujemy silniki APU dla największych producentów samolotów komercyjnych, jak i militarnych na świecie, takich jak Airbus, Boeing, Comac, Embraer czy Lockheed Martin.
Naprawiamy i serwisujemy silniki pomocnicze APU dla kilkudziesięciu linii lotniczych z całego świata.
Tak, głównie tutaj w Rzeszowie zajmujemy się bankowością elektroniczną, ale także bankowością systemów transakcyjnych. To są przede wszystkim klienci największego banku w Polsce PKO BP, to są klienci banków spółdzielczych.
Główna siedziba firmy zlokalizowana jest w Mielcu, w specjalnej strefie ekonomicznej. Centrum badawczo-rozwojowe umieściliśmy w Rzeszowie. W sumie zatrudniamy 2000 pracowników, z tego ponad 500 to są inżynierowie. Rzeszów i Podkarpacie to miejsca bardzo sprzyjające do prowadzenia działalności gospodarczej. Młodzi ludzie, dobrze wykształceni, chcą mieszkać i pracować w Rzeszowie jako mieście o bardzo wysokiej jakości życia. Stąd nasza decyzja o ulokowaniu Centrum Badawczo-Rozwojowego właśnie w Rzeszowie.
Once again, very good morning. We are very happy to host you here at the second day of the conference that is devoted to smart city implementation in cities all around Poland and also our sister cities from Europe. I would like to very warmly welcome our friends from the cities of Łódź in Ukraine and the city of Split in Croatia, who will have their presentations later. And now I would like the mayor of the city of Rzeszów, Mr. Konrad Fiołek, to take the floor.
Dziękuję bardzo. Ja również do tych powitań chciałbym się dołączyć i w imieniu własnym i całego zarządu miasta bardzo serdecznie powitać delegacje z miast partnerskich, partnerów naszej konferencji i również tych uczestników konferencji, którzy słuchają nas dzisiaj online.
I would like to add to all the welcoming that I am very happy to have our sister cities here. I would like to also welcome all the other participants here who are here with us today and also those who are online.
Stało się już tradycją, że w Rzeszowie organizujemy spotkanie, konferencję i warsztat z miastami naszymi partnerskimi, miastami także polskimi, które to konferencja i warsztat są okazją do dyskusji o tym, jak wdrażać nowoczesne pomysły, smart rozwiązania w naszych miastach.
It has become a tradition now that we organize an annual conference that is devoted to implementation of smart city solution in both our city and our sister cities, and this is a great occasion to have the workshops and the conferences that are that aim at the exchange of experiences on smart city implementation.
I bardzo się cieszę, że w tej kolejnej, tegorocznej edycji znów możemy gościć przedstawicieli naszych miast partnerskich ze świata i polskich miast, z którymi współpracujemy.
And I'm very happy to be able to host both our sister cities from all around the world at the next edition of the conference and our cities in Poland that we cooperate with.
Bardzo się cieszę, zwłaszcza, że to niełatwy czas na takie spotkania, szczególnie dla naszych miast partnerskich z Ukrainy. Tym bardziej cieszę się, że jest reprezentacja łódzka, że jest też część reprezentacji online. Niedawno był u nas mer Lwowa, zatem mimo tych trudnych czasów cieszę się, że możemy Was gościć.
Despite the times are hard, especially for our partners in Ukraine, I'm very happy to have the representation of Łódź here, and 2 days ago we hosted the mayor of Lviv, so this is a special occasion and we are very happy to have you here.
Zatem bardzo się cieszę, że możemy Was gościć w miejscu, które jest ważne także dla naszego miasta, ale myślę, że dla wielu miast innych w Europie i na świecie, czyli w miejskim laboratorium.
I'm very happy to be able to host you here in the very place which is very important for both our city and other cities in the world, in our city lab.
A więc miejscu, w którym wypracowujemy pomysły na nowe rozwiązania problemów w miastach, testujemy, a potem staramy się skalować i wymieniać doświadczeniami. Zatem to idealne miejsce do tej konferencji i do naszej rozmowy dziś.
The place poses a perfect place for our conference today because this is the place where we work on new ideas, where we check whether they work and then we scale them and try to implement.
Myślę, że Rzeszów to też dobre miejsce do tej rozmowy. Nie tylko dlatego, co widzieliście Państwo na filmie, że jest miastem bardzo związanym z innowacjami.
I think Rzeszów is also a very good place for the conference, not only because of the of what we showed in the film. That means that the city is very connected and very concerned about technologies.
Nie tylko dlatego, że jesteśmy liderem Smart City rozwiązań w Polsce i cieszyć się chociażby tegorocznymi nagrodami najlepszych rozwiązań w Polsce w tym względzie.
Not only because of the fact that we are the leader in smart city solutions in Poland, and we can be happy about having a lot of awards in this respect.
Ale też tegoroczna edycja naszej konferencji będzie szczególna, bo chcemy zaprosić do współpracy przy misji, jaką podjęliśmy się jako Rzeszów.
But this year's conference edition is special because we would like to invite you to cooperate within the mission that we took as the city.
Bowiem Komisja Europejska wybrała Rzeszów jako jedno ze 100 europejskich miast do bycia liderem zmian i działań w kierunku osiągnięcia neutralności klimatycznej w roku 2030 i bycia właśnie smart city, smart miastami.
As the European Commission chose Rzeszów as one of 100 cities from Europe to be the leader in net zero cities, to take part in the net zero cities program and be climate neutral in the year 2030 and be able to share this experience with other cities.
Zatem jednym z najważniejszych elementów tej misji jest dzielenie się swoimi doświadczeniami, budowaniem sieci współpracy z innymi miastami w tym względzie.
One of the most important part of this mission is exchange of experience with other cities and building a network of cities from all around Europe.
Im lepszą taką sieć różnych miast zbudujemy wokół tej idei, tym lepsza będzie nasza siła przebicia także i w Komisji Europejskiej i możliwość ubiegania się o kolejne projekty razem.
The better network we build together, the more powerful we will be in applying for projects in the European Commission.
Zatem zapraszam do tej dzisiejszej dyskusji, zapraszam do wymiany doświadczeń. Myślę, że będzie to też pierwszy krok w kierunku tej naszej misji.
So I invite you to this discussion, to the experience exchange, and I think that it will be the first step towards this mission.
I pozdrawiam wszystkie serdecznie, jeszcze raz wszystkie miasta, które będą z nami, zwłaszcza online, te z Polski, te z zagranicy, nasze partnerskie jak Klagenfurt, Bielefeld. Mam nadzieję, że i nasze miasta ze Stanów Zjednoczonych podglądają, co się u nas dzieje, także wszystkie inne i cieszę się, że jest także delegacja Splitu osobiście. Będę miał okazję przekazać pozdrowienia dla pana burmistrza, który ponownie wygrał wybory.
So one more time, I would like to greet all the cities that are here with us physically and online: Split, Łódź, Bielefeld, and Klagenfurt. I hope that our American sister cities are also watching the transmission. I'm particularly happy to have the Split delegation here today, and I will try to convey the greetings to the newly elected mayor to them.
Dziękuję i zapraszam.
Thank you very much. All right, so you can see Rzeszów 2050. This is the aim that we are trying to realize. The mayor mentioned Net Zero Cities Initiative, and this is very important in building a smart city in Rzeszów. I will show you some of our aims that we would like to realize in Rzeszów in the nearest future, but we'll start with statistics about the city. I know that there are some new people here, so just to be clear, we are a medium-sized city. We have around 200,000 inhabitants. On a daily basis, there are more and more people living in Rzeszów, let alone the fact that we have around 30,000 refugees from Ukraine still in the city of Rzeszów. The economy of the city is based on basically 3 pillars. First of all is aerospace. The second one, very important, is IT, and I will get back to it later. And BPO, so business process outsourcing, is becoming more and more popular and more important to the economy of the city, employing over 6,000 people right now in the city. The number of students is pretty amazing. This is 40,000 students at 7 universities, and around 2,500 students are from abroad, mainly from Ukraine, but also from some other European countries and Asia as well. And the average age of citizens, thanks to students of course, is just 39 years old. Rzeszów 2050 is the aim that the mayor is trying to realize together with his employees. There are basically 4 sub-aims or targets that we would like to meet. So first of all, we would like to build a smart city, resilient city, the city which is very adaptive in terms of climate, especially climate issues. Green, biodiverse, net zero, as the mayor mentioned, we are in the network of the European Commission, and sustainable city, which has a nice balance between work, study, and free time, and provides its citizens with good ideas for spending their free time, and the city which is inclusive in all the respects of inclusive city. So the city that is inclusive for all the age groups of citizens, the city which is inclusive to people with disabilities, to people from other countries, and so on and so forth. We are very easily accessible, and this is very important in terms of the economy of the city. Some of you flew in our airport, so the airport is very important. You can see the map of connections from the airport, including New York. What is very important right now in the situation with the war in Ukraine, the airport has become a huge military hub. All the military aid and humanitarian aid that goes to Ukraine goes through the airport in Rzeszów. And we have, of course, the A4 motorway. For those of you who drive, you can drive from the west to the east of the country, and S19 road, which is very important because it is a very important alternative for our route to Warsaw, because it made it very short right now, and the part between Rzeszów and Lublin is ready, so it takes less time to go to another capital city in the east of Poland. Smart city. So smart city is both infrastructure and the ways that we try to engage the citizens in the process of the management of the city. ITS, Intelligent Transport System, that has been implemented and is still being implemented in the city. This means that we invested a lot in the whole radio network that connects all the buses, all the bus shelters, and there's a special app that you can download in order to be able to buy tickets and to know when exactly your bus will appear at the bus shelter. E-buses, this is very important. I have just come back from Milton Keynes in the UK, where there was a conference that we were involved in on low carbon vehicles. So e-buses right now, we are buying more and more, but also hydrogen powered buses. This is something that we would like to realize in the nearest future. And modern bus shelters, we will come back to it later. Smart city means smart parking solutions. You cannot, no matter how hard you try, you will not be able to convince all the people to use public transport. Some of them will still use their individual cars. And in order to make it harder for them, we developed a special intelligent parking zone. So this is just to make the traffic flow faster in the very city center, so that people don't leave their cars for the whole day, but they just come. They have to pay for parking, but they don't stay, they don't leave the car for the whole day. And to make it easier for them to find the parking lot, we have developed a special mobile app, so you can download it. Not only can you pay for parking, but you can also be guided to a given free spot for parking. And you can see here the names of the streets in the very city center and the number of free spaces for parking there. So when you enter a given street, you already know how many free spaces are there, and you can decide whether you want to park there or not. City for the people means city which is intelligent in all the respects. Here you can see a modern bus shelter which was developed by ML System, a Rzeszów-based company which deals a lot with PV panels. The CEO of the company you could see in the film with this all quantum dot and the glass that produces energy. But this is the bus shelter that is located in the very city center. And what is very important, we are about to have our presentation at Smart City Expo World Congress in Barcelona in November this year. And we are taking ML System with us, with their smart bus shelter, so that we can show what we are implementing in terms of smart city in Rzeszów. Smart bus shelter means that it has Wi-Fi, it has AED, it is solar powered, and it's heated in the winter and air conditioned in the summer. Resilient city, this is very important. When you hear what's happening all over the world because of climate change, you know that you need to have the city which is responsible, the city which is ready to all the challenges that are created by climate change. So first of all, you cannot talk about resilient city and adaptive city without saying a few words about the situation connected with war in Ukraine. So this is the city which is reacting to crisis, and it's worth mentioning that since the very beginning of the conflict in Ukraine on the 24th of February, we were involved in helping refugees. As I said, we have still around 30,000 refugees right now in Rzeszów, but at the peak of the crisis, the number was around 100,000. So for the city of 200,000 citizens, we had 100,000 refugees at a certain point. And we try to cooperate with all the world. Right now, practically all the activities that are connected with helping the refugees were taken over by a lot of different international organizations, both foundations and organizations of the United Nations, such as UNICEF. So we cooperate with them very closely, and they help us dealing with the crisis. What's important in terms of international cooperation is, of course, cooperating with our sister cities. You can see all but one sister city here sister cities here in the slide. The latest one is Chernihiv in Ukraine. Chernihiv, which we signed the agreement just 2 months ago with, and we are supporting them with rebuilding the city. The city was very badly damaged at the very first month of the war. And they, for example, have all their public transport damaged. So next week we are about to donate our buses to the public transport of Chernihiv to make it easier for them to function. And as I said at the very beginning, there are two very important economy branches for the city of Rzeszów. First of all is aerospace. 90% of all aerospace production of Poland comes from Rzeszów and the sub-region of Rzeszów. So when you fly your plane next time, just think that at least one part of the plane was produced here. And IT is very important, with around 100 companies from IT industry, including Asseco Poland, which is a global company which has its headquarters here, and it's the 6th producer of software in Europe. You could see Asseco representative in the film as well. Here are just a few examples of the companies that invested in Rzeszów and around Rzeszów. We have, of course, Asseco that I mentioned. We have MTU, Pratt & Whitney in terms of aerospace. We have automotive industry, for example, BorgWarner, Deloitte, BPO Center, and the Center of Shared Services for 16 European countries, and a lot of other aerospace and IT companies, let alone automotive and other branches of economy. Green city, the city that wants to be comfortable, and the city which wants to simply provide good quality of life needs to be green, and this is one of our aims. So first of all, we focus on what's called the industry of free time, so all that you do when you do not work or study. So recreation, sports, tourism, leisure. We have a lot of parks revitalized. We are building new pocket gardens or pocket parks. So these are the parks that are located all over the city, whenever we find a free spot that we could plant some trees, bushes, and put a bench, we do it. And also we try to, you can see in the very slide, you can see the street, which is just around the corner, and this street, as a test, was closed to traffic for several weeks last year. We are about to repeat this action, and you could see what you can do when you do not have cars in the very city center. You can have some benches, you can have people talking, chatting, eating ice cream, and so on and so forth. So this is the future, to get rid of the cars from the city center and to leave the streets for people. Another very important aim is the 10-minute city. 10-minute city idea is the idea of the city which provides every citizen with access to green area within 10-minute walk, simply. And right now, it's the accessibility of such green areas in the city of Rzeszów is around 89% of the population. we are aiming at 100% in 2045, and this will be achieved thanks to all the green areas that we revitalize or we create new green areas in the city. Another very important thing, and it's worth mentioning about it here because the idea for this mural was created here. This is the anti-smog mural that was painted with the use of special anti-smog paints that absorb pollutants from the air. And this was painted on the walls of one of the schools in the city center. Here you can see the author of the mural together with the mayor. We are cooperating with a foundation that paints such murals all over the city. They get the walls, they provide the paints. We find some sponsors to paint such murals all over the city. So not only you have you got nice walls, but you also have some pollutant absorbent walls, which is very important in terms of the quality of air. Alternative means of transport are very important here in Rzeszów, so except for public transport and individual cars, we offer electric scooters and bikes, charging stations. Here you can see one of them, which is located in downtown, and of course mobile apps that you cannot do without when you use public transport right now. And self-efficient bus station. This is the bus station which is located near the city center. It was built by ML System, the company that I mentioned before. And you can see a lot of PV panels on the roof of the terminal. There are also PV panels on the walls of the terminal building. Generally, the idea is that it is self-sufficient in terms of energy, so it produces so much energy thanks to PV panels that it doesn't need to use an external source of energy to function. And inclusive city. As I said, this is the inclusion of all the age groups and all generally social groups, and Urban Lab, as the mayor mentioned, is a very good example of such a place. This is the place where we meet with young people, with old people. There's a saying that if you can build the city which is comfortable for 8-year-olds and 80-year-olds, it means that you can build a livable city for all the citizens, because you can get rid of all the hurdles and all the problems that are a challenge for people, for example, with disabilities. So this is the place where the ideas are born, this is the place where they are tested, and from this place we implement them in the city. And just a few examples of activities that we have here. Minecraft 3D printing, we teach pupils Minecraft 3D printing. We involve pupils, so generally youngsters, with their grandmothers, grandfathers, to, for example, design green areas or recreational areas. It is the grandparents that the children mainly spend time at the green areas and playing grounds, so let them design the place that would be comfortable for them. Okay, and culture is important. Maybe the names of the events don't ring the bell, but it is very important for the citizens that we invest in culture. We have invested, so far we have invested 3 times more money in culture than last year. Thanks to that, we can organize a lot of events, a lot of events that are happening in the city center, but all over the city as well. You may, our sister cities may be familiar with Paniaga Festival because you took part in that. Yeah, so you know what it is. And this is just to make the culture be closer to all the citizens and make it easier for them to spend their free time in the city. And one of the newest attractions, I know that this is part of the agenda for our sister cities, so I won't elaborate on that, but Rzeszów Cellars, a set of cellars that are located beneath the market square in the city center, which is an interactive cultural institution right now, very important for us in terms of tourism and very informative both for tourists and for our inhabitants. Last but not least, you'll see a short promo video showing how international we are. Even before the events from February, we had been a very international city, and you will see some of the examples of people who live here, who chose Rzeszów to be their home. Okay?
I'm from New Zealand. Hannover.
I have the mixture of the Saudi culture as well as an Indian culture.
I
came here because I was offered the chance to teach pilots at the Polytechnic a few years ago. Well, quite a few years ago, actually.
Жешів вибрав для перспективи, тому що я бачу це, в якому темпі, з якою швидкістю це місто розвивається. Я бачу, що це місто молодих людей, це місто креативних людей, які зацікавлені в розвитку цього міста. Це місто не є завелике, не є замале. Так, тобто воно є ідеальне для життя, воно є дуже комфортне для життя.
I was looking for aviation-related courses. I did research and turns out Rzeszów was the Valley of Aviation. I'm almost here for 3 years.
It doesn't really matter where, but it's the people. And actually, you know, my favorite place in Rzeszów would be the street, because that's where I've met probably most of the people that I know.
I teach business English, I teach sports English, legal English, different kinds of English for different kinds of purposes. For a living, I work in international negotiations, handling business between Asia and mostly EU countries. My hobbies, coaching American football, different levels, different cities. And I ended up, you know, just kind of crazy, got an opportunity to coach with the national team a few times. So kilka razy miałem orzeł na klatce z waszymi reprezentacjami.
Vor kurzem gesagt, ich bin Business Development Manager und ja, meine Hobbys sind mit dem Hund rausgehen und ja, ab und zu mal joggen.
I was born in India, but my brother was in Saudi Arabia. And I've been living there so half of my life, and I'm kind of used to the Saudi culture.
It's a town full of young people, highly educated. There's low unemployment, young, vibrant city, and there's a lot of opportunities here. So really enjoy it.
It's nice and calm, but there's also exciting things to do. Nicht zu groß, nicht zu klein, ist halt einfach perfekt.
I really like going down to the river. There's miles of bike paths and hiking trails and walking paths and rollerblading.
Походжу з міста Львова, міста Лева, Західної України. В 2015 році переїхав до Польщі. В мерії міста Rzeszowa працюю 2,5 роки. Оскільки я є україномовним, основний мій напрямок роботи – це співпраця з нашими містами-партнерами з України, такими як Львів, Івано-Франківськ, Луцьк та Трускавець. На жаль, з останніх подій, які відбулися в Україні, співпраця трошки змінилася, з другої сторони поглибилась. Так само, як і розширилась кількість міст, з якими ми тепер співпрацюємо в Україні, оскільки місто Rzeszów, як місто, яке знаходиться найближче до кордону з Україною. Саме до цього складу приїжджає вся допомога гуманітарна, яку ми пізніше передаємо до наших міст партнерських з України та до інших міст з України, які до нас звертаються про допомогу. Доброта, щирість, я думаю, що ці останні події, які відбулися в Україні, добре показали, які люди проживають в місті Rzeszów, як вони готові допомогти, як вони готові подати руку. І це не тільки в кризисних ситуаціях, це місто завжди таким було. Слава Україні!
Ich plane auf jeden Fall länger hier zu bleiben. Ich würde jetzt nicht sagen für immer, weil das kann man nie gewiss sagen, aber für auf jeden Fall eine längere Zeit.
I plan to stay in Rzeszów for probably a few more decades.
So this is the city of Rzeszów. And now I would like to welcome Ms. Olga Dzieciątkowska, Specialist for Digital Project Digitalization and Cybersecurity Office from Poznań City Hall. She will deliver a presentation, Smart City Poznań, Achievements and Plans. Okay? The floor is yours.
Hello everyone, I hope that you can hear me. It's very nice to be virtually with you right now. I'm glad that I can be here, and it will be a pleasure to tell you a bit more about Smart City Poznań, about our achievements, about our plans for future. It was very nice to hear how you are developing, how Rzeszów is developing, and it is also inspiring for us. So let me start with sharing my screen. My name is Olga Dzieciątkowska. I work for Poznań City Hall as a digital project specialist. I am also a leader of smart community area in our smart city team, and I will tell a bit more about it later. And just a brief roadmap, let's say, that we have overcome in last few years. We started with when our mayor's proxy for smart city was chosen. Then we joined Open Agile Smart Cities organization, which was kind of a milestone for us. We established the smart city team, and we started to think how we understand smart city, what are the criteria of smart city projects. And then the scaling up and implementing project has started, and it is basically still going on. When we began, but also right now, we are looking for inspirations, mostly in Europe, but of course in our country as well. We are hearing what European Commission and in general European Union says about smart city. We look at Open Agile Smart Cities organization, of course, United Nations and the Sustainable Development Goals, but also other organizations such as Smart City. We participated in 100 Intelligent Cities Challenge, which is coming to an end soon. So it all is a huge lesson for us, and we're trying to get from it as much as we can. Inspired by Vienna University, we divided our smart city into 6 different areas, which are smart community, smart living, smart environment, digital city, economy, and mobility. We have modified it a bit according to our needs and how we feel it and how we understand it. And right now, let me tell you just few projects from each of these fields that we have accomplished and what we would like to do and what we already have started doing. So in terms of smart community, where we co-develop a city with our residents, that's the main goal. We leverage our high-level social capital and new technologies potential. A few years ago, the Center for Local Initiatives were launched, which is our mayor's office. Basically, they are places where we would like to activate our citizens, a place that they can cooperate with city, but also with non-government organizations, and where with all the local neighborhood, they can implement some of the ideas, know how to get the funds for it. Right now, we have 16 of them in Poznań, and they are working very well. Our project right now is Poznań Smart City Lab, so creating it. And I have to say that Rzeszów is also one of our inspirations here. So we are looking how you did it and how what we can learn from you and from your way here. And first we were thinking about having one way of smart box and one way of smart district. How, for example, Dublin did it. Right now, we think we'll stay more with Smart Book, which will be just a place where very different environments can cooperate. So academia, business, residents, local government, and also a place where we can still run our pilot projects because we know how to do it. We know what documents should we do because we already, have experience with that. But also to give a big role to public consultations, because there is a lot of it going on in Poznań. So we just would like to have the Poznań Smart City Lab as a place where everything will be connected. In terms of smart mobility, so of course our focus is to create a modern, eco-friendly, integrated public transportation, which will be not only Poznań, but also the metropolitan, and which allow for efficient movement in the city and, like I just said, agglomeration. So I mentioned pilot projects. We try to do as many as we can. One of them was e-paper time schedule on a bus stop. We had it for 3 months because we thought how maybe it's just a better way to, and also more sustainable, to exchange just the regular timetables, paper ones, to electric ones. So we tried it. right now we think that it's not a good idea to implement it in our city, but as I say, it's always good to try and to learn. And in terms of what we are doing right now, it's development of micromobility. And I think that in every Polish city, you observe it since some time. And we all were a bit surprised at the beginning with e-scooters and their presence. Right now with government rules, we are trying to create hubs, micromobility hubs in Poznań, to establish them. So find the best places. So we cooperate with e-scooters companies. And right now, based on heat maps, we just want to, like I said, create the micromobility hubs, which we believe will be the safe solution for residents and will help keep in order our city and public spaces. So it will be inclusive for everyone, not only for people who are using private or public shared e-scooters or scooters. And we started with just a workshop and public consultations last year, and right now we will go for more serious steps. Next area, smart living. So enabling citizens to complete administrative procedures in a fast and efficient way. We want to provide secure and equal access to all public services. It started with a chatbot, which is provided by our contact office center, so a municipal helpline. And right now it's still being developed. It started when coronavirus pandemic started. And then next step further, VoiceBot, which is a great support for consultants working in a Poznań contact office. And we also started sharing numbers, so how many calls were being operated in every day, both by VoiceBot and also by consultants. Our helpline is doing it in Polish, English, and Ukrainian language. And then the thing that two of these things we did, but we still develop because there is so much more to do. And then e-government services. So everything that helped to basically improve quality of life for our residents, because no one wants to deal with their cases for a long time. If you can do it something via internet, why not? If you can do it something from the level of your phone, let's do it. And we are focusing a lot also on Ukrainian residents in Poznań because we have a lot of them. And we would like to be as friendly as easy for them as it's possible. So here the great role, as I said, of a Poznań contact office. And smart environment. So green potential, we want to use it. We want to use natural resources in a very sustainable way. We want to raise awareness and provide environmental education. So 3D maps, which are very advanced, I would say. So, for example, just a solar potential of buildings with very much details. Inventory of greenery on the map, where you can see trees and, again, details about each of them. Because we made a lot of pilots in the last few years with schools, with kindergartens, in terms of metamorphizing them and being more using solar power, for example, we started to thinking to make something bigger out of it. And right now our goal is to create a program for energy transformation of Poznań. We started doing it step by step, thanks to the government program GovTech InnoLab, where we were thinking and developing an idea for a platform which will analyze, but also in the future help us manage energy in public buildings, which are almost 800 in cities. So that could be a huge change when we'll be able to do it. We are doing it with a lot of partners from a city hall, but also with companies like Veolia or Aquanet. Then smart economy, so creating conditions for entrepreneurships and innovations, supporting and promoting forms and areas of business. We were able to sign a cooperation letter with IPM last year, which is another step to build the friendly environment for startups, for example. Poznań City Lab will be also connected to that, co-work spaces and so on. And project I would like to mention briefly here is Smart City Wielkopolska conference that we were able to organize for the third time this May. And we will definitely continue doing it. And similar like it's here, we had the part of it in Polish and part of it in English. And we think that it was quite a success. We were able to connect different areas and environments from Poznań, so both business, academics. We have a lot of speakers from many different areas, and we are definitely going to organize it next year. And the Smart Digital City, so administrating data in a safe, coherent way, improving administrative process, and complete our task with help of IT systems. We have our Smart City website, which is like the base, let's say, for all of the information, what's going on in our city. It's also connected to Open Data website, where we share APA for what we can. Then there is our mobile app, which we launched almost 2 years ago, and it is still being developed, and that's I would say, definitely one of the main goals. And the app is basically two-way, because it gives a lot of information to citizens about what's going on in the city, but also, and on the other way, it allows residents to report some kind of cases that they believe that city should take care of. So wrongly parked cars, just some being not in order, trash is being not in order, just being left somewhere on the street, but also initiatives that they believe that should be created in their area. And maybe just one more thing about our video platform, which is created. So we wanted to have something more of city, so just a city joke was to have like a Netflix for our city, where we have, because we believe that videos are right now very popular and easy and nice for eyes information way. And we put here everything which is going on in our city, starting with renovation process, cultural events, and stuff like this. So I think I am a bit, or just perfect in time, or a bit out of it. I would say at the end that we believe that the success is also that we see that we are being more and more identified in our city hall, but also outside. So slowly more and more residents are aware what is smart city, and we hope that it will be still going, and still more people will be able to understand it very well and be more engaged in the process of creating it. Thank you very much for the opportunity of being here, and I wish you still very, very intense, inspire rest of the conference.
Longer. Okay, so we'll meet here in 20 minutes, okay? So feel free to treat yourself to coffee or to some snacks.
ciężko pracujący. My jesteśmy ludźmi, którzy wierzą właśnie, że ta ciężka praca w którymś momencie wynagradza i przychodzi sukces.
Stąd większość z nas pochodzi, tutaj działamy, tutaj się rozwijamy, no i mamy nadzieję, że będzie tak jeszcze przez wiele, wiele lat.
Dostęp do wysoko wykwalifikowanej kadry, bardzo dobre położenie na przecięciu tras S19, A4, dostęp do lotniska.
Rzeszów jest dobrym ośrodkiem budowania biznesu z tego względu, że jest bardzo dobra współpraca między uczelniami.
Symbolem naszego miasta jest pomnik, który bardzo mocno kojarzy się z kobiecością, dlatego nie wyobrażam sobie innego miasta na tworzenie kobiecego biznesu i kobiecej marki, jak właśnie Rzeszów.
Zajmujemy się serwisowaniem silników turbowentylatorowych, czyli silników GTF. Lokalizacja MRO w Rzeszowie, w Dolinie Lotniczej, wynika z faktu, że jest to region z ogromnymi tradycjami właśnie w tej branży, w branży lotniczej.
Selveco to polski producent kosmetyków naturalnych. Pierwsza tego typu firma w naszym regionie, a aktualnie jedna z bardziej rozpoznawalnych w branży kosmetyków naturalnych. Tutaj zaczęła się cała nasza historia. Z małej rodzinnej manufaktury ze Stobiernej pod Rzeszowem rozwinęliśmy się do dużej, rozpoznawalnej firmy.
Grupa Fibain to już blisko 10 firm. Sprzedajemy nasze produkty do 70 krajów całego świata. Ta główna spółka Fibain zajmuje się produkcją rozwiązań światłowodowych do budowy sieci światłowodowych. Są to kompletne rozwiązania, głównie instalowane przez operatorów internetowych. Kilku lat objęliśmy patronatem klub sportowy Stal Rzeszów, głównie poprzez wychowanie dzieci poprzez sport. Stal Rzeszów jest to szeroki projekt, bo nie jest to tylko klub, jest to bardzo mocna akademia.
Firma ML System założona w 2007 roku w Budziwoju, wtedy jeszcze w podrzeszowskim Budziwoju, dzisiaj już w Rzeszowie, w garażu. W tej chwili duży zakład produkcyjny, 20 000 m2, produkujemy super nowoczesne moduły fotowoltaiczne, wprowadzamy na rynek szyby, które dają prąd, szyby z powłokami kwantowymi. W zakresie BIPV jesteśmy jedną z 5 największych firm na świecie.
Firma Vis-a-vis w tym roku kończy 20 lat. Jest to marka modowa tworzona dla kobiet, przez kobiety. Mamy 12 sklepów w całej Polsce oraz sklep internetowy. Tworzymy tu na miejscu w Rzeszowie.
W Rzeszowie podoba nam się wiele rzeczy. W Rzeszowie podoba nam się infrastruktura, ponieważ Rzeszów jest dobrze skomunikowany. Deloitte w Rzeszowie powstało jako wewnętrzne centrum wspierające procesy biznesowe w ramach struktury Deloitte w regionie środkowo-wschodnim. Podstawowymi obszarami w zakresie procesów, które podjęło nasze centrum, to jest obszar tradycyjny finansów, natomiast również jest to obszar audytu, zarządzania ryzykiem czy obszar IT.
BorgWarner zajmuje się produkcją komponentów i podzespołów do samochodów osobowych, ciężarowych oraz tzw. aftermarket. Produkowane przez nas produkty znajdziemy w niemal wszystkich markach samochodów na całym świecie. Jednym z kluczowych powodów, dlaczego nasza fabryka znajduje się w tym miejscu, było to, że znajduje się blisko Międzynarodowego Portu Lotniczego oraz blisko stolicy innowacji miasta Rzeszów.
SECO buduje systemy informatyczne, które są strategicznymi dla funkcjonowania wielu krajów. Ogromnie jestem dumny z tego, że większość mieszkańców naszego kraju korzysta pośrednio bądź bezpośrednio z naszych rozwiązań.
Cieszę się, że my, ludzie z Rzeszowa, potrafiliśmy zbudować coś, co dzisiaj jest dostrzegane w różnych krajach.
Jako pierwsi na świecie wprowadzamy tego typu produkt do seryjnej produkcji.
Każdy Dreamliner lata z silnikami APU wyprodukowanymi właśnie tutaj, w Rzeszowie.
Można śmiało powiedzieć, że to jest około kilku milionów ludzi.
Kolekcję projektuje 3 osoby. Ja też jestem częścią tego zespołu, bo to jest ulubiona część mojej pracy.
Produkujemy huby USB, ładowarki indukcyjne, mikrofony, piloty oraz boksy sterujące różnymi funkcjami w samochodzie. Daimler, BMW, Volkswagen, Porsche, Bentley.
Tutaj widać szybę. Z pozoru zwykła szyba, przeźroczysta, ale tak naprawdę ona w środku jest bardziej skomplikowana. Ma w sobie wiele warstw, które z jednej strony zatrzymują ciepło wpadające do środka w lecie, zatrzymują zimno uciekające w zimie z budynku, ale przede wszystkim produkują prąd. Widać tu w tej chwili napięcie i prąd, która ta szyba generuje, nawet ze sztucznego oświetlenia. Dla takiej szyby nie ma znaczenia kąt padania światła.
To jest serce firmy. To miejsce, w tym miejscu powstają nasze projekty. W tym miejscu dobieramy tkaniny, rysujemy wzory, robimy prototypy, konstrukcje, przymiarki. Także to jest clou naszej działalności.
Tradycja biznesu lotniczego w tym miejscu, w centrum Rzeszowa, sięga ponad 80 lat. Pratt & Whitney Rzeszów oraz Pratt & Whitney Aeropower Rzeszów zatrudniają łącznie niemal 4000 pracowników i produkują silniki lotnicze napędzające najnowocześniejsze samoloty na świecie. Obie firmy należą do Stowarzyszenia Dolina Lotnicza, zrzeszającego największe firmy lotnicze z regionu Podkarpacia.
Jesteśmy głównym dostawcą silników APS 5000 dla Boeinga 787 Dreamliner, który zasila systemy samolotu przed uruchomieniem silników głównych. W Pratt & Whitney Aeropower Rzeszów produkujemy silniki APU dla największych producentów samolotów komercyjnych, jak i militarnych na świecie, takich jak Airbus, Boeing, Comac, Embraer czy Lockheed Martin.
Naprawiamy i serwisujemy silniki pomocnicze APU dla kilkudziesięciu linii lotniczych z całego świata.
Tak, głównie tutaj w Rzeszowie zajmujemy się bankowością elektroniczną, ale także bankowością systemów transakcyjnych. To są przede wszystkim klienci największego banku w Polsce, PKO BP, to są klienci banków spółdzielczych.
Główna siedziba firmy zlokalizowana jest w Mielcu, w specjalnej strefie ekonomicznej. Centrum badawczo-rozwojowe umieściliśmy w Rzeszowie. W sumie zatrudniamy 2000 pracowników, z tego ponad 500 to są inżynierowie. Rzeszów i Podkarpacie to miejsca bardzo sprzyjające do prowadzenia działalności gospodarczej. Młodzi ludzie, dobrze wykształceni, chcą mieszkać i pracować w Rzeszowie jako mieście o bardzo wysokiej jakości życia. Stąd nasza decyzja o ulokowaniu Centrum Badawczo-Rozwojowego właśnie w Rzeszowie.
Wyobrażając sobie nowoczesne miasto, jeszcze niedawno myśleliśmy o drapaczach chmur, zatłoczonych ulicach, pędzącym tłumie ludzi. Od kilku lat to myślenie zmienia się. Nowoczesne miasta są przyjazne dla mieszkańców, otwarte na ich pomysły, potrzeby, dające poczucie własnej, bezpiecznej przestrzeni. Nasza samoświadomość rośnie. Chcemy współdecydować o tym, jak przyjazna będzie przestrzeń wokół nas, otoczenie naszego bloku, nasze osiedle, nasze miasto. W związku z tym
of Split to take the floor and present smart city practices of the city of Split.
Good day, everyone. My name is Vedrana Franic. I'm head of the Department for City Development. Today, I'm going to introduce you with a smart city practices case of the city of Split. For start, you need to know where is Split. It's a Mediterranean city. It's the second largest city in Croatia, and it's center of administrative, economic, and transportation activities. So, city of Split in the last few years is involved in implementing smart city solutions. So, Split membership and projects, almost all smart city projects are funded by European Union, and we are member of ICC network of 130 cities. Today you are going to see 6 projects, smart city solutions, but there are plenty more. We don't have time for all the projects. So this is the first and the most popular smart city project. It's a public bike sharing system. It's the most successful project. We have now 50 locations that are covered with the public bike sharing system. We started with the project Remedio in 2019. So you can see here some statistics. In 3 years, we had over the 500K leases. We have 36K registered users, and we did 2.6 million kilometers in 3 years. And most important thing, we had over the 600 tons of CO2 savings in 3 years. The second successful application of smart city project is smart split parking. We saw yesterday yours application is similar application, but one thing that we have in this application is that you can report improperly parked vehicles. And we have 20 seconds delay of application when you park, you avoid. Every 20 seconds, application is refreshing. Sorry. Also, you can see that this application has one more thing, that is that you can see how many places are saved for disabled persons. This is the smart city solution that is still in progress. I hope so, that till the end of the year will be online. So this is, we have a mobile and web application, and we decided to develop this application because we want efficient communication with our citizens and the other users. So you can see information about the city, about the news in the city. You can communicate with the administration of the city. You can find your bills inside and you can pay them, and many more stuff. The main thing that is important in this application is that it's connected with the government NIAS system, and you can access them with that passwords. So the government of Croatia created a system that connects all the administration, and if you need any information or any document, you can enter in their application, and we decided to connect it with this, so it's easier to all citizens of Split that use already government application to register only with one click in hours. This project is called Green Public Lighting System, and on this picture you can see the pilot case. We created the pilot case in one part of the city, and statistic information from this project are used to develop this one big project, Green Public Lighting System. We decided to cover 18,000 square meters of area of Split with 82 smart LEDs for road lighting, and then you can see that we have 82 addressable controllers for data center collection and management. In this, I think in August, we did some calculations for this project, and we calculated that we are going to have 11.5 tons per year CO2 reduction and savings about more than 4,000 euros. This is the new project. It's now in public pronouncement, and we are trying to do similar like you here, but it's a little bit bigger, and our ITS will be open 24/7, because yesterday we heard that your office works from, I think, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., but in Split the traffic in the night is also crowded, so we can do the yellow light in the night. So these red spots are the places that we are planning to cover with ITS system. Here is the center of the Split, center of the city, and these are the spots that have the highest traffic points. So the subsystems include the traffic management, weather monitor, traffic control center, mobile application for passenger. Is very similar like yours, because we've been here 5 years ago to see what did you do, and we transfer most of the things that we saw in the city. So this is the old but new thing. We had the GIS portal of City of Split, but we now did a new implementation, and we did the implementation of the public 3D portal of the city. You can find the most important thing maybe in this portal is this picture down because it's the first phase of public solar potential. Yesterday we were in your bus station and I asked the manager how did they did their documentation for solar potential, and they said that they don't have a document, that they did. We are going to implement solar panels and that's it. But in Croatia we have to do documents that shows that our building has solar potentials. So we decided to do the map. I can show you later on my computer how it works. You click on the building that you want to put the solar panels, and then shows you how many panels can you put, how many solar potential that building has, and how many electricity is going to be used. And what's next? In Split we have a lot of problem with waste management, so we decided to do this smart waste management. We got one of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. The first one, they are called Big Belly. They are called Big Belly because when you put the waste inside, this container is pressing the waste, and you have, I don't know, maybe a can with 120 liters, but you can put inside 2 or 3 times more of waste. So every can has a Wi-Fi or a smart card that is connected with a mobile phone application, and the waste management company knows when they can come to the spot where is located this can and empty. And the last one, we are going to do integration of PV panels with smart solution for better management. The reason why we have to do this, because we put now we have 3 schools and 2 kindergartens that we installed the solar panels, but we don't have any management for this, and we can't get the statistic data for this. And also, we have now implementation of the projects, and we are putting solar panels on 14 public buildings. So this is the reason why these 2 things are next smart things that we are going to do in our city. And I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for showing us what's happening in the city of Split. We'll have time later for the discussion, questions and answers. And now I would like to connect with our sister city from Austria, Klagenfurt, Mr. Wolfgang Liebetegger, who is going to deliver a presentation keeping pace with a changing environment in the smart city of Klagenfurt. The floor is yours.
Yes, hello everybody. Greetings from Klagenfurt. Can you hear and see me? Yes? Okay. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. First of all, I have to say I'm there instead of my colleague Markus Letter. Unfortunately, he's a COVID victim at the moment, but I will do my best to represent the city. My name is Wolfgang Liebetegger. I'm working in the Department for Climate and Environmental Protection in the city of Klagenfurt. I want to give you some short facts about the city. The city of Klagenfurt is in the south of Austria, next to the border to Italy and Slovenia. We have about 103,000 inhabitants, and the daytime population from about 160,000 people. The area is 120 square kilometers, and the city is the capital of the province of Carinthia. And the city or the region is the the economic center. It's about 670 kilometers far away from linear distance between Klagenfurt and Rzeszów. I want to tell you about important things about smart city and concerning to the city of Klagenfurt. At first of all, why is it necessary to have a smart city strategy? Klagenfurt is hitting by the global transformation. We have the climate change, like every city in each country in the world. We have the demographic changes. We need the energy transition, and of course also the mobility transition. And we need the digitalization to reach the goals. The smart city strategy in Klagenfurt, a few words concerning to this. The contents of the smart city strategy are developed by experts from the city of Klagenfurt and the utility provider, and also supported by external experts like universities and companies. We have one big core team with city experts and experts from our utility provider, 9 fields of actions, 9 working groups for each field of action, with 50 experts in sum and 212 smart city measures. And our fields of action are mobility, infrastructure, energy, economy, living space, the urban development, governance, digitalization, and generations. We have defined a vision, a strategy, and goals in the strategy. And the vision is that the smart city Klagenfurt is an emission neutral, energy efficient, and resource saving living space with a high urban quality of life, which is very well connected in the Alp-Adriatic region. And Klagenfurt am Wörthersee has decided to initiate a dynamic process as a smart city in order to keep the demands of the future. The city is to provide space for innovation and urban quality of life and ensures a responsible post-fossil digitalized society. And the goals are very important. Klagenfurt pursues the goal of reducing the greenhouse gas emissions by 40% by 2030 and 90% by 2050, relative to the baseline of the year 2011. At the same time, a good quality of life for the population and the future generation is to be further improved. We are proud to say that the city of Klagenfurt is a member of the European Cities Mission, Net Zero Cities. That means that Klagenfurt was selected as one of 100 climate neutral cities as part of the Cities Mission. The aim is to touch climate neutrality by 2030, instead by 2040, like I mentioned before. The creation of measures for the reduction of at least 80% of greenhouse gas emissions and compensation of the remaining 20% of greenhouse gas emissions. It's achievable through innovative funding projects. And of course, the increased participation of citizens is very important. And furthermore, the creation of an SDG-based set of indicators to measure the achievements of the goals. Some words about the meaning of the city's missions. It means that bringing forward the currently existing climate targets and measures up to 2030. Like I said before, it's necessary to reduce at least 80% of the of the direct greenhouse gas emissions and the compensation of the remaining 20%. It's a pioneer role in Europe and of course also in Austria, and it brings priority access to special funding programs, national in Austria and in the European Union. The participation of citizens is very important, and it means cooperation with federal, state and local authorities in the central area, and the cooperation with companies. And it brings a motivation boost for politics, administration, population and economy. And now I want to show you the, can you see this graphic? Sorry. Is it better right now? Yes? Okay, and at last I want to show you how the city of Klagenfurt will reach the climate neutrality by 2030. And I will give you some ideas how we will do it in Klagenfurt concerning some key projects. Two great parts are, of course, the thermal building renovations. And we have a project, KEVIP, that means Klagenfurt electric bus investment project. It means the purchase of electric buses. We also, another measure is smart city offensive with economy and the private developers, and important measures in our defined smart city target areas. Another one is the expansion of the district heating network, and of course also the district cooling network. Very crucial is the replacement of the natural gas by biogenic district heating and green gas. Also the expansion of the electrocharging network. That means electromobility in individual and delivery traffic. Also an important measure is the change of mobility behavior, bike sharing, e-car sharing, and measures like this. With all these measures, we want to reduce our direct greenhouse gas emissions up to 83%. And the last picture is how we are going to fix the compensation measures to achieve the climate neutrality. And some examples are here in this graphic. At first, I want to say important is the use of renewable raw materials like wood in the building industry, the change of mobility behavior in the central area of the Carinthian region concerning commuters and so on. Implement photovoltaic projects in the central area of Carinthia, energy storage, of course, photovoltaic projects on our own municipal buildings. We have also planned climate projects in the central area of Carinthia, and of course the forestation of open spaces. And we are searching for other projects like CCS projects, that means carbon capture and storage. And at last, I have to thank you very much for the invitation and your attendance. And I hope you could see the last two slides because of the technical problems.
Yeah, we could see them clearly. Thank you very much for
Okay,
your presentation,
okay.
and please stay with us until the end of the panel in case there are any questions to be asked.
Yes, of course.
And last but
Thank
not
you.
least, thank you very much. And
Thank you.
last but not least, good practices implemented in the city of Łódź, our sister city from Ukraine. I would like Anna Vinciuk to take the floor and talk about your implementations.
First slide, please. I can do it. Hello everyone, my name is Anna Vinciuk. I'm from the city of Lutsk, which is situated in the western part of Ukraine, and it's just situated some 100 kilometers from the border with Ukraine. And we are a regional center with a population of 217,000 people. In the year of 2020, we joined the nearby 35 villages, so now we are called Lutsk City Territorial Community altogether. Actually, our city pays much attention to implementation of smart solutions in the city. For this purpose, we try to use different instruments, like, for example, we attract investments, we attract grant funds through partnership projects, and we also try to cooperate with different foundations and NGOs. Since 2019, we have launched the electronic ticketing system in all our public transport vehicles. So all our vehicles are covered with this system. It doesn't matter whether it's a private ownership bus or whether it's a municipal trolley bus. Each vehicle contains at the moment validators for paying the fare, also GPS tracking, video surveillance system, and also there is an announcement of next stops in each vehicle. This is a complete investment project and of foreign investors. Actually, there are lots of ways to pay with electronic ticket. For example, there is a plastic card, 4 types of plastic cards, ordinary cards. You can see that there are these cards are with stripes of different colors. There are special cards for students, for pupils, for pensioners, and just an ordinary card. You can also pay for your trip with paper tickets for 2 or 3 rides, and also you can pay with a bank card, which has Pay Pass, and with a mobile app, which is also a part of this investment project. You can top up the electronic ticket with the help of 40 payment terminals, which are situated all around the city, and with a mobile app or with a web portal, which was also introduced under this investment project. Another big project with many beneficiaries for our city is a project which was implemented together with our partner city in Germany, Lippe district. We involved grant funds from the Federal Ministry for Economic and Cooperation of Germany, BMZ. And actually under this project we installed 9 smart stops. 5 smart stops are more than 8 meters long, and 4 smart stops are more than 4 meters long. Each smart stop contains high contrast smart panel showing weather, showing time, and showing real data in how many minutes the public transport vehicle arrives on the stop. It also has outside lighting. It has a video surveillance camera. Information from the video surveillance camera goes to our city security system. And it also has free Wi-Fi and USB fast chargers. And it is powered up partially with a solar panel on the roof. So just a combination of different ecological, smart and security elements all in this smart stop. Under the same project also we have installed 22 smart panels. It also has this smart panel itself, the video surveillance camera, the USB ports for charging, and Wi-Fi. And you can see also our donors here. And also a very interesting component in Smart Stop and also smart panels, they have separate waste collection bins just to promote separate collection of waste. And under this project, we also developed a public transport website. It contains all the information about our public transport and about transport infrastructure in the city. So you can find information what kind of carriers we have, how many vehicles we have, how many routes, their schedule. Also, you can submit an appeal about transport here. You can find information about our projects concerning transport. For example, we bought 29 new trolley buses due to credit of European Investment Bank just last year. So you can find everything about our public transport on this website. And also you can track transport online with the help of this public website. And you can also make a route of your destination because a number of services have been integrated inside this public transport website. And I can also show you, I would like to show you the video, a short video from our project, just to have an idea what it did under this project.
It is nice to know that it is possible to determine travel time precisely. It is so convenient to pay the fare with an electronic ticket in the phone. All I have to do is open the app and scan the QR code.
I love traveling by trolleybus. Trolleybuses are comfortable, safe and sustainable. And just like that, standing on the streets next to the bus stop, you can become better and raise environmentally conscious youngsters.
It's cool that the roof of the bus stop is equipped with a solar panel, powering up all its elements. Lutsk is particularly lovely in the evening. With bright LED lighting, you would not miss your stop. Be a smart passenger.
Live eco lifestyle.
We are at the moment organizing our parking places. At the moment we have 3 parking places in the city where you have to pay for your stay with the car. And so at the moment you can pay there with the help of mobile app, which was introduced on the 1st of June this year, and also you can pay with the parking meters. By the end of the year we plan to open 7 more paid parking places, and there we plan that the parking slots will be paid exclusively only by this parking app. At the moment this parking app allows to pay for the stay, and it also gives a notification when the time for which you paid is ending. So you have to either to prolong the stay, pay more, or you have to leave this parking slot. This app also is very useful for inspectors because they come to your car and see whether you paid for the stay on this parking slot or not, and whether to give you the penalty or not. In the city, for more than 2 years already, in the city functions the public security center. The municipal guard of Lutsk city is responsible for its functioning, and it comprises 352 cameras of video surveillance. And as you can see, the 31 cameras from our bus stops, smart bus stops, come there. And also we have 92 cameras with license plate recognition and 6 robotized cams. So these cameras are used for monitoring the roads with the high traffic, and also for monitoring the security situation in biggest public places, like for example in the central park of the city. Also we are working on development of geo-information system in our city. At the moment there were developed 97 layers and in 8 thematic maps. So there are also like 3,337 permit documents included in the system. And for example, if you see some land, piece of land, you can see who owns it or who rents it and for what period. And so lots of information. But actually, at the moment, this system, because of war in Ukraine, this system is closed for public, and it's only used internally for our officials, just not to give extra information outside. This is actually, we can see there these different layers like playgrounds for children, also some power lines and etc. And for example, also higher educational institutions. We also, according to Ukrainian legislation, we are obliged to give open data to the open data, our state service. And at the moment, the City Council gives 205 open data sets. And these sets are used also by us for some analytics, or can be used for any internal outside source to make some analytics. Due to cooperation with NGO, we have introduced online air purity monitoring. Under this project, we have installed 9 indicators called air purity control stations, and it shows some pressure, some weather. It shows they are situated in different parts of the city, and also you can. It shows 6 parameters, and which concern pollution of the air. And it also, there is a diagram, and it also shows, for example, if there is too much of some chemicals in the air, or it's all in the norm. And this portal is also integrated with another weather portal, and you can see, for example, if there is some exceeding of this or that chemical in the air, you can also understand from which part of the city it comes because of the weather direction, or because of the winter, or wind direction, sorry. We also have joined the portal of Green Plant Management System. At the moment, it includes more than 2,000 of plants within the city. To put information on this portal, we involved students from the universities and also ecological activists and specialists. So there are plants, and they are indicated with different colors. For example, the state of the plant with the color blue, it's an ideal state of the plant, and with green it's satisfactory, and yellow it's not satisfactory state of the plant. So just also with some, but I would say that there is much work to do, and there is also many plants have to be still added to the system. So we are working on that. Also, since the year of 2008, we've been using our municipality electronic document circulation system. And since the year of 2017, we do not use papers at all, including the resolutions of City Council and so some orders of mayors. And all the divisions and municipal enterprises of City Council are connected with this electronic document system. And also, when people come for to order some service, some electronic service, their appeals are put in this, written down in this system, but the system is fully integrated with our state portal, state system, Dzień, state app. And so when you come for some service, you do not have to bring also some paper copies of the documents, but you can also, with the inspector, the administrator, he just scans the QR code, and with the help of DIA, you sign this copy and send it electronically. So no paper documents at all, because of this integration with the DIA. Which contains actually all our documents, passports, ID, driving license, and so on. More than a year, our online communication center functions. Actually, this is the center which organizes and registers all kinds of appeals. For example, appeal submitted through the phone, appeal submitted through different other resources, web portals, chatbots, and etc. The system includes a web portal and also mobile application where you can submit an appeal, where you can attach a photo if you are dissatisfied with some situation on the road or anywhere, and you can also see the result, the process of your consideration, and see the result of the consideration of this appeal, and just track this consideration. This is like a communication department, and also when the appeal is when the center receives this appeal, it gives to responsible workers to answer this appeal immediately, almost immediately. Also, our citizens use chatbots. We have introduced a number of chatbots to them. For example, Nazar City Bot. He gives information about different municipal services and like social, communal. You can also submit appeal here, which then goes to our communication center. And also, what's interesting about the CityBot, for example, it sends to its users information about all the works, like repairment works, for example. If it knows where you live, because you register with your address, and if, for example, if there will be, if tomorrow you will not have electricity because of some repairing works, it gives you a notification that tomorrow you must understand that you will have no electricity or some, for example, hot water because of some unstandard situation or some repairing works. Another chatbot, Svoyi, it tells also about, you can also submit an appeal and you can find out information about some municipal but also some state services. For example, if you lost driving license, you can find out here information where you can change, where you can have a copy of this driving license and how much it will cost. So also lots of different services. And the third one is a very internal chatbot, and it's about just kindergartens and enrollment of the child in the kindergarten. You can you can use it, and you can find a number of free places in each kindergarten, and depending on any age group, as for example the youngers or those who are going to leave the kindergarten. So just for enrollment of children in the kindergartens. And we also use widely e-democracy instruments, as for example public budget. Each year before the war we announced the public budget contest, and 10 projects submitted by groups of people, groups of citizens or NGOs of the city or some institutions of the city were voted and were supported and were financed. So anyone could submit any nice project for the development of the city. And also our people use widely online petitions. For example, if you are not dissatisfied, if you are dissatisfied with some, I don't know, resolution, or if you have some suggestion about, change, some situation, or maybe some transport routes, etc., you can submit online petition, and it is voted. And if it gets 300 of votes, it has to be considered by the municipality, and the answer should be given in 14 days. But actually each our petition is considered, and if it doesn't get this number of votes, then we just give the answer in a month, just an ordinary procedure. And there is also an instrument of online consultations. For example, we may allocate some information. If you would like to change the name of the street, we allocate this information on this web portal. People may comment, say they agree or not, something like this. And because of war in Ukraine, actually we have new challenges, many of them, and here is a slide about supporting business, mainly supporting business reallocation. There are companies which were working in the eastern part of Ukraine or in the central part of Ukraine, and they would like to reallocate their business. Actually, there is some service which there is a questionnaire where you can just raise a hand that you would like to reallocate your business, and there is also information that with premises which can be given for rent, and you also can raise hand that you would like to have some help with the export of goods abroad. So Economic Policy Department is responsible for this reallocation of business matters. Actually, I guess it's all. Yeah. Thank you. And just a couple of words, because I'm here on this floor and I cannot say these words. And I'm just on behalf of our authorities, on behalf of me personally, our citizens, I would like to thank the city of Rzeszów, all the Polish people, and also to your country for all the support that you've been giving us since the start of the war. And here with accommodation, food, in Ukraine with sending humanitarian aid, it's very valuable for us because we know, of course, that we need partners, friends, just to support us in this struggle. That's how we can win. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the informative presentation. I have to say that the things connected with open data and the flow of documents within the city office, this is something that we will definitely have to learn from you, because we are at the very beginning of our road towards this. All right, so we have finished all the panels that presented our sister cities and their implementation of smart city solutions. If you have any questions, the floor is open. Okay, as I understand it, you will prefer to do it over coffee. Okay, so let's have some coffee and then we'll go to the last panel that will be business cases, okay? Thank you very much to all the presenters, and let's have a coffee and chat about the implementation of different solutions.
Mieszkańcy wraz z władzami miasta chcą współtworzyć przestrzeń, w której żyjemy, wprowadzać innowacje, które poprawią jakość naszego życia, żeby miasto było smart. Doskonałym instrumentem, przestrzenią do takich działań jest laboratorium miejskie Urban Lab Rzeszów, w którym są wypracowywane i testowane pomysły oraz rozwiązania oparte na innowacjach i zaangażowaniu obywateli.
Urban Lab to znakomite narzędzie do włączania mieszkańców do procesu decyzyjnego w mieście. To miejskie laboratorium, w którym spotykają się z jednej strony aktywiści miejscy, NGOsy, z drugiej strony środowiska naukowe, z trzeciej środowiska biznesowe, no i oczywiście z czwartej strony administracja, która jest końcowym beneficjentem tego procesu. Wszyscy razem spotykają się i zastanawiają, diagnozują, jakie są problemy w mieście do rozwiązania, wreszcie wspólnie razem próbują znaleźć stosowne rozwiązania. Zobaczmy, jak to wygląda w rzeczywistości.
Urban Lab działa na dwóch poziomach, strategicznym i operacyjnym. Powołane zostały zespoły tematyczne do spraw otwartych danych, elektromobilności oraz smart living. Kolejnym krokiem jest testowanie i wypracowywanie rozwiązań, czyli działania takie jak akceleracja miejska, hackatony miejskie, konferencje międzynarodowe, badania i ewaluacja. Wypracowane rozwiązania w fazie pomysłu trafiają do inkubatora innowacji miejskich, gdzie dostosowywane są do potrzeb miasta, a następnie wprowadzane w życie. Wszystko jednak zaczyna się od Urban Cafe, przestrzeni kreatywnej, w której dochodzi do wymiany myśli, idei dotyczących usprawniania życia w mieście.
Jesteśmy w Urban Cafe, a więc takiej przyjaznej przestrzeni dla mieszkańca, w której każdy może przyjść przy kawie, przedstawić swój pomysł na miasto, zorganizować spotkanie ze stowarzyszeniem, debatę w sprawach miejskich, a w ogóle dzieje się tutaj bardzo dużo różnych, bardzo ciekawych rzeczy.
Z pomysłów do akceleracji miejskiej na mikroinnowacje miejskie powstają ekologiczny mural wykonany ekologicznymi farbami, trzmielowisko umożliwiające obserwację trzmieli w trakcie zbierania pokarmu, ławka solarna multimedialna pobierająca energię ze słońca, budki dla jeżyków i domki dla jeży. Społeczny ogród owocowo-warzywny położony na terenach zielonych przy szkole podstawowej nr 25. Ogród został zaprojektowany przez dzieci w konkursie Minecraft. We współpracy z Instytutem Nauk Socjologicznych Uniwersytetu Rzeszowskiego stworzyliśmy Rzeszowskie Laboratorium Badań Miejskich, platformę wymiany doświadczeń pomiędzy przedstawicielami środowiska akademickiego zajmującego się prowadzeniem badań miejskich, a osobami zarządzającymi miastami i przedstawicielami innych środowisk zajmujących się tematyką miejską. Rzeszów jako pierwsze z polskich miast może pochwalić się projektami miejskimi tworzonymi w Minecraft i drukowanymi w 3D. Dodatkowym elementem uzupełniającym projektowanie przestrzeni miejskiej jest wykorzystanie robotyki, nauk ścisłych i nowoczesnych technologii. W zajęciach Minecraft, druku 3D oraz robotyki od grudnia 2019 roku wzięło udział ponad 4000 uczniów ze szkół podstawowych z terenu gminy miasta Rzeszowa. Projektowanie placu zabaw czy warsztaty edukacyjne z sadzenia roślin dla dzieci rozpoczęły tworzenie wspólnej przestrzeni. Bardzo istotne są również konferencje tematyczne, które przyczyniły się do wypracowania rekomendacji do podjęcia działań w określonych obszarach, jak konferencja pod tytułem Wodorowa przyszłość. Jej efektem było podpisanie listu intencyjnego powstania Doliny Wodorowej 18 maja 2021 roku. Aby nadążyć za zmianami na świecie, za zmianami klimatu i stylu życia ludzi, eksperymentujemy w bezpiecznej, przeznaczonej do tego przestrzeni Laboratorium Miejskiego Urban Lab Rzeszów. Do wspólnych działań zapraszamy wszystkich mieszkańców. Razem, dzięki dobrym pomysłom i ich realizacji, poprawimy jakość naszego życia.
My jesteśmy skromni, ciężko pracujący, my jesteśmy ludźmi, którzy wierzą właśnie, że ta ciężka praca w którymś momencie wynagradza i przychodzi sukces.
Stąd większość z nas pochodzi, tutaj działamy, tutaj się rozwijamy, no i mamy nadzieję, że będzie tak jeszcze przez wiele, wiele lat.
Dostęp do wysoko wykwalifikowanej kadry, bardzo dobre położenie na przecięciu tras S19, A4, dostęp do lotniska.
Rzeszów jest dobrym ośrodkiem budowania biznesu z tego względu, że jest bardzo dobra współpraca między uczelniami.
Symbolem naszego miasta jest pomnik, który bardzo mocno kojarzy się z kobiecością, dlatego nie wyobrażam sobie innego miasta na tworzenie kobiecego biznesu i kobiecej marki, jak właśnie Rzeszów.
Zajmujemy się serwisowaniem silników turbowentylatorowych, czyli silników GTF. Lokalizacja MRO w Rzeszowie, w Dolinie Lotniczej, wynika z faktu, że jest to region z ogromnymi tradycjami właśnie w tej branży lotniczej.
Selveco to polski producent kosmetyków naturalnych. Pierwsza tego typu firma w naszym regionie, a aktualnie jedna z bardziej rozpoznawalnych w branży kosmetyków naturalnych. Tutaj zaczęła się cała nasza historia. Z małej rodzinnej manufaktury ze Stobiernej pod Rzeszowem rozwinęliśmy się do dużej, rozpoznawalnej firmy.
Grupa Fibrain to już blisko 10 firm. Sprzedajemy nasze produkty do 70 krajów całego świata. Główna spółka Fibrain zajmuje się produkcją rozwiązań światłowodowych do budowy sieci światłowodowych. Są to kompletne rozwiązania, głównie instalowane przez operatorów internetowych. Kilku lat objęliśmy patronatem klub sportowy Stal Rzeszów, głównie poprzez wychowanie dzieci poprzez sport. Stal Rzeszów jest to szeroki projekt, bo nie jest to tylko klub, jest to bardzo mocna akademia.
Firma ML System założona w 2007 roku w Budziwoju, wtedy jeszcze w podrzeszowskim Budziwoju, dzisiaj już w Rzeszowie, w garażu. W tej chwili duży zakład produkcyjny, 20 000 m2, produkujemy super nowoczesne moduły fotowoltaiczne, wprowadzamy na rynek szyby, które dają prąd, szyby z powłokami kwantowymi. W zakresie BIPV jesteśmy jedną z 5 największych firm na świecie.
Firma Vis-a-vis w tym roku kończy 20 lat. Jest to marka modowa tworzona dla kobiet, przez kobiety. Mamy 12 sklepów w całej Polsce oraz sklep internetowy. Tworzymy tu na miejscu w Rzeszowie.
W Rzeszowie podoba nam się wiele rzeczy. W Rzeszowie podoba nam się infrastruktura, ponieważ Rzeszów jest dobrze skomunikowany. Deloitte w Rzeszowie powstało jako wewnętrzne centrum wspierające procesy biznesowe w ramach struktury Deloitte w regionie środkowo-wschodnim. Podstawowymi obszarami w zakresie procesów, które podjęło nasze centrum, To jest obszar tradycyjny finansów, natomiast również jest to obszar audytu, zarządzania ryzykiem czy obszar IT.
BorgWarner zajmuje się produkcją komponentów i podzespołów do samochodów osobowych, ciężarowych oraz tzw. aftermarket. Produkowane przez nas produkty znajdziemy w niemal wszystkich markach samochodów na całym świecie. Jednym z kluczowych powodów, dlaczego nasza fabryka znajduje się w tym miejscu, było to, że znajduje się blisko Międzynarodowego Portu Lotniczego oraz blisko stolicy innowacji miasta Rzeszów.
ASECO buduje systemy informatyczne, które są strategicznymi dla funkcjonowania wielu krajów. Ogromnie jestem dumny z tego, że większość mieszkańców naszego kraju korzysta pośrednio bądź bezpośrednio z naszych rozwiązań. Cieszę się, że my, ludzie z Rzeszowa, potrafiliśmy zbudować coś, co dzisiaj jest dostrzegane w różnych krajach.
Jako pierwsi na świecie wprowadzamy tego typu produkt do seryjnej produkcji.
Każdy Dreamliner lata z silnikami APU wyprodukowanymi właśnie tutaj, w Rzeszowie.
Można śmiało powiedzieć, że to jest około kilku milionów ludzi.
Kolekcję projektuje 3 osoby. Ja też jestem częścią tego zespołu, bo to jest ulubiona część mojej pracy.
Produkujemy huby USB, ładowarki indukcyjne, mikrofony, piloty oraz boksy sterujące różnymi funkcjami w samochodzie. Daimler, BMW, Volkswagen, Porsche, Bentley.
Tutaj widać szybę. Z pozoru zwykła szyba, przeźroczysta, ale tak naprawdę ona w środku jest bardziej skomplikowana. Ma w sobie wiele warstw, które z jednej strony zatrzymują ciepło wpadające do środka w lecie, zatrzymują zimno uciekające w zimie z budynku, ale przede wszystkim produkują prąd. Widać tu w tej chwili napięcie i prąd, która ta szyba generuje nawet ze sztucznego oświetlenia. Dla takiej szyby nie ma znaczenia kąt padania światła.
To jest serce firmy. To miejsce, w tym miejscu powstają nasze projekty. W tym miejscu dobieramy tkaniny, rysujemy wzory, robimy prototypy, konstrukcje, przymiarki. Także to jest clou naszej działalności.
Tradycja biznesu lotniczego w tym miejscu, w centrum Rzeszowa, sięga ponad 80 lat. Pratt & Whitney Rzeszów oraz Pratt & Whitney Aeropower Rzeszów zatrudniają łącznie niemal 4000 pracowników i produkują silniki lotnicze napędzające najnowocześniejsze samoloty na świecie. Obie firmy należą do Stowarzyszenia Dolina Lotnicza, zrzeszającego największe firmy lotnicze z regionu Podkarpacia.
Jesteśmy głównym dostawcą silników APS 5000 dla Boeinga 787 Dreamliner, który zasila systemy samolotu przed uruchomieniem silników głównych. W Pratt & Whitney Aeropower Rzeszów produkujemy silniki APU dla największych producentów samolotów komercyjnych, jak i militarnych na świecie, takich jak Airbus, Boeing, Comac, Embraer czy Lockheed Martin.
Naprawiamy i serwisujemy silniki pomocnicze APU dla kilkudziesięciu linii lotniczych z całego świata.
Tak, głównie tutaj w Rzeszowie zajmujemy się bankowością elektroniczną, ale także bankowością systemów transakcyjnych. To są przede wszystkim klienci największego banku w Polsce, PKO BP, to są klienci banków spółdzielczych.
Główna siedziba firmy zlokalizowana jest w Mielcu, w specjalnej strefie ekonomicznej. Centrum badawczo-rozwojowe umieściliśmy w Rzeszowie. W sumie zatrudniamy 2000 pracowników, z tego ponad 500 to są inżynierowie. Rzeszów i Podkarpacie to miejsca bardzo sprzyjające do prowadzenia działalności gospodarczej. Młodzi ludzie, dobrze wykształceni, chcą mieszkać i pracować w Rzeszowie jako mieście o bardzo wysokiej jakości życia. Stąd nasza decyzja o ulokowaniu Centrum Badawczo-Rozwojowego właśnie w Rzeszowie.
Wyobrażając sobie nowoczesne miasto, jeszcze niedawno myśleliśmy o drapaczach chmur, zatłoczonych ulicach, pędzącym tłumie ludzi. Od kilku lat to myślenie zmienia się. Nowoczesne miasta są przyjazne dla mieszkańców, otwarte na ich pomysły, potrzeby, dające poczucie własnej, bezpiecznej przestrzeni. Nasza samoświadomość rośnie. Chcemy współdecydować o tym, jak przyjazna będzie przestrzeń wokół nas, otoczenie naszego bloku, nasze osiedle, nasze miasto. W związku z tym mieszkańcy wraz z władzami miasta chcą współtworzyć przestrzeń, w której żyjemy, wprowadzać innowacje, które poprawią jakość naszego życia, żeby miasto było smart. Doskonałym instrumentem, przestrzenią do takich działań jest laboratorium miejskie Urban Lab Rzeszów, w którym są wypracowywane i testowane pomysły oraz rozwiązania oparte na innowacjach i zaangażowaniu obywateli.
Urban Lab to znakomite narzędzie do włączania mieszkańców do procesu decyzyjnego w mieście. To miejskie laboratorium, w którym spotykają się z jednej strony aktywiści miejscy, NGOsy, z drugiej strony środowiska naukowe, z trzeciej środowiska biznesowe, no i oczywiście z czwartej strony administracja, która jest końcowym beneficjentem tego procesu. Wszyscy razem spotykają się i zastanawiają, diagnozują, jakie są problemy w mieście do rozwiązania, wreszcie wspólnie razem próbują znaleźć stosowne rozwiązania. Zobaczmy, jak to wygląda w rzeczywistości.
Urban Lab działa na dwóch poziomach, strategicznym i operacyjnym. Powołane zostały zespoły tematyczne do spraw otwartych danych, elektromobilności oraz smart living. Kolejnym krokiem jest testowanie i wypracowywanie rozwiązań, czyli działania takie jak akceleracja miejska, hackatony miejskie, konferencje międzynarodowe, badania i ewaluacja. Wypracowane rozwiązania w fazie pomysłu trafiają do inkubatora innowacji miejskich, gdzie dostosowywane są do potrzeb miasta, a następnie wprowadzane w życie. Wszystko jednak zaczyna się od Urban Cafe, przestrzeni kreatywnej, w której dochodzi do wymiany myśli, idei dotyczących usprawniania życia w mieście.
Jesteśmy w Urban Cafe, a więc takiej przyjaznej przestrzeni dla mieszkańca, w której każdy może przyjść przy kawie, przedstawić swój pomysł na miasto, zorganizować spotkanie ze stowarzyszeniem, debatę w sprawach miejskich, a w ogóle dzieje się tutaj bardzo dużo różnych, bardzo ciekawych rzeczy.
Z pomysłów do akceleracji miejskiej na mikroinnowacje miejskie powstają ekologiczny mural wykonany ekologicznymi farbami, trzmielowisko umożliwiające obserwację trzmieli w trakcie zbierania pokarmu, ławka solarna multimedialna pobierająca energię ze słońca, budki dla jeżyków i domki dla jeży. Społeczny ogród owocowo-warzywny położony na terenach zielonych przy szkole podstawowej nr 25. Ogród został zaprojektowany przez dzieci w konkursie Minecraft. We współpracy z Instytutem Nauk Socjologicznych Uniwersytetu Rzeszowskiego stworzyliśmy Rzeszowskie Laboratorium Badań Miejskich, platformę wymiany doświadczeń pomiędzy przedstawicielami środowiska akademickiego zajmującego się prowadzeniem badań miejskich, a osobami zarządzającymi miastami i przedstawicielami innych środowisk zajmujących się tematyką miejską. Rzeszów jako pierwsze z polskich miast może pochwalić się projektami miejskimi tworzonymi w Minecraft i drukowanymi w 3D. Dodatkowym elementem uzupełniającym projektowanie przestrzeni miejskiej jest wykorzystanie robotyki, nauk ścisłych i nowoczesnych technologii. W zajęciach Minecraft, druku 3D oraz robotyki od grudnia 2019 roku wzięło udział ponad 4000 uczniów ze szkół podstawowych z terenu gminy miasta Rzeszowa. Projektowanie placu zabaw czy warsztaty edukacyjne z sadzenia roślin dla dzieci rozpoczęły tworzenie wspólnej przestrzeni. Bardzo istotne są również konferencje tematyczne, które przyczyniły się do wypracowania rekomendacji do podjęcia działań w określonych obszarach, jak konferencja pod tytułem Wodorowa przyszłość. Jej efektem było podpisanie listu intencyjnego powstania Doliny Wodorowej 18 maja 2021 roku. Aby nadążyć za zmianami na świecie, za zmianami klimatu i stylu życia ludzi, eksperymentujemy w bezpiecznej, przeznaczonej do tego przestrzeni laboratorium miejskiego Urban Lab Rzeszów. Do wspólnych działań zapraszamy wszystkich mieszkańców. Razem, dzięki dobrym pomysłom i ich realizacji, poprawimy jakość naszego życia.
My jesteśmy skromni, ciężko pracujący, my jesteśmy ludźmi, którzy wierzą właśnie, że ta ciężka praca w którymś momencie wynagradza i przychodzi sukces.
Stąd większość z nas pochodzi, tutaj działamy, tutaj się rozwijamy, no i mamy nadzieję, że będzie tak jeszcze przez wiele, wiele lat.
Dostęp do wysoko wykwalifikowanej kadry, bardzo dobre położenie na przecięciu tras S19, A4, dostęp do lotniska.
Rzeszów jest dobrym ośrodkiem budowania biznesu z tego względu, że jest bardzo dobra współpraca między uczelniami.
Symbolem naszego miasta jest pomnik, który bardzo mocno kojarzy się z kobiecością, dlatego nie wyobrażam sobie innego miasta na tworzenie kobiecego biznesu i kobiecej marki, jak właśnie Rzeszów.
Zajmujemy się serwisowaniem silników turbowentylatorowych, czyli silników GTF. Lokalizacja MERO w Rzeszowie, w Dolinie Lotniczej, wynika z faktu, że jest to region z ogromnymi tradycjami właśnie w tej branży lotniczej.
Selveco to polski producent kosmetyków naturalnych. Pierwsza tego typu firma w naszym regionie, a aktualnie jedna z bardziej rozpoznawalnych w branży kosmetyków naturalnych. Tutaj zaczęła się cała nasza historia. Z małej rodzinnej manufaktury ze Stobiernej pod Rzeszowem rozwinęliśmy się do dużej, rozpoznawalnej firmy.
Grupa Fibrain to już blisko 10 firm. Sprzedajemy nasze produkty do 70 krajów całego świata. Główna spółka Fibrain zajmuje się produkcją rozwiązań światłowodowych do budowy sieci światłowodowych. Są to kompletne rozwiązania, głównie instalowane przez operatorów internetowych. Kilku lat objęliśmy patronatem klub sportowy Stal Rzeszów, głównie poprzez wychowanie dzieci poprzez sport. Stal Rzeszów jest to szeroki projekt, bo nie jest to tylko klub, jest to bardzo mocna akademia.
Firma ML System założona w 2007 roku w Budziwoju, wtedy jeszcze w podrzeszowskim Budziwoju, dzisiaj już w Rzeszowie, w garażu. W tej chwili duży zakład produkcyjny, 20 000 m2. Produkujemy super nowoczesne moduły fotowoltaiczne. Wprowadzamy na rynek szyby, które dają prąd, szyby z powłokami kwantowymi. W zakresie BIPV jesteśmy jedną z 5 największych firm na świecie.
Firma Vis-a-vis w tym roku kończy 20 lat. Jest to marka modowa tworzona dla kobiet, przez kobiety. Mamy 12 sklepów w całej Polsce oraz sklep internetowy. Tworzymy tu na miejscu w Rzeszowie.
W Rzeszowie podoba nam się wiele rzeczy. W Rzeszowie podoba nam się infrastruktura, ponieważ Rzeszów jest dobrze skomunikowany. Deloitte w Rzeszowie powstało jako wewnętrzne centrum wspierające procesy biznesowe w ramach struktury Deloitte w regionie środkowo-wschodnim. Podstawowymi obszarami w zakresie procesów, które podjęło nasze centrum, to jest obszar tradycyjny finansów, natomiast również jest to obszar audytu, zarządzania ryzykiem czy obszar IT.
BorgWarner zajmuje się produkcją komponentów i podzespołów do samochodów osobowych, ciężarowych oraz tzw. aftermarket. Produkowane przez nas produkty znajdziemy w niemal wszystkich markach samochodów na całym świecie. Jednym z kluczowych powodów, dlaczego nasza fabryka znajduje się w tym miejscu, było to, że znajduje się blisko Międzynarodowego Portu Lotniczego oraz blisko stolicy innowacji miasta Rzeszów.
SECO buduje systemy informatyczne, które są strategicznymi dla funkcjonowania wielu krajów. Ogromnie jestem dumny z tego, że większość mieszkańców naszego kraju korzysta pośrednio bądź bezpośrednio z naszych rozwiązań.
Cieszę się, że my, ludzie z Rzeszowa, potrafiliśmy zbudować coś, co dzisiaj jest dostrzegane w różnych krajach.
Jako pierwsi na świecie wprowadzamy tego typu produkt do seryjnej produkcji.
Każdy Dreamliner lata z silnikami APU wyprodukowanymi właśnie tutaj, w Rzeszowie.
Można śmiało powiedzieć, że to jest około kilku milionów ludzi.
Kolekcję projektuje 3 osoby. Ja też jestem częścią tego zespołu, bo to jest ulubiona część mojej pracy.
Produkujemy huby USB, ładowarki indukcyjne, mikrofony, piloty oraz boksy sterujące różnymi funkcjami w samochodzie. Daimler, BMW, Volkswagen, Porsche, Bentley.
Tutaj widać szybę. Z pozoru zwykła szyba, przeźroczysta, ale tak naprawdę ona w środku jest bardziej skomplikowana. Ma w sobie wiele warstw, które z jednej strony zatrzymują ciepło wpadające do środka w lecie, zatrzymują zimno uciekające w zimie z budynku, ale przede wszystkim produkują prąd. Widać tu w tej chwili napięcie i prąd, która ta szyba generuje, nawet ze sztucznego oświetlenia. Dla takiej szyby nie ma znaczenia kąt padania światła.
To jest serce firmy. To miejsce, w tym miejscu powstają nasze projekty. W tym miejscu dobieramy tkaniny, rysujemy wzory, robimy prototypy, konstrukcje, przymiarki. Także to jest clou naszej działalności.
Tradycja biznesu lotniczego w tym miejscu, w centrum Rzeszowa, sięga ponad 80 lat. Pratt & Whitney Rzeszów oraz Pratt & Whitney Aeropower Rzeszów zatrudniają łącznie niemal 4000 pracowników i produkują silniki lotnicze napędzające najnowocześniejsze samoloty na świecie. Obie firmy należą do Stowarzyszenia Dolina Lotnicza, zrzeszającego największe firmy lotnicze z regionu Podkarpacia.
Jesteśmy głównym dostawcą silników APS 5000 dla Boeinga 787 Dreamliner, który zasila systemy samolotu przed uruchomieniem silników głównych. W Pratt & Whitney Aeropower Rzeszów produkujemy silniki APU dla największych producentów samolotów komercyjnych, jak i militarnych na świecie, takich jak Airbus, Boeing, Comac, Embraer czy Lockheed Martin.
Naprawiamy i serwisujemy silniki pomocnicze APU dla kilkudziesięciu linii lotniczych z całego świata.
Tak, głównie tutaj w Rzeszowie zajmujemy się bankowością elektroniczną, ale także bankowością systemów transakcyjnych. To są
two presentations, the business cases. We'll start with Intelligent Urban Architecture, Solutions for the City by Paweł Smoka, Head of Foreign Markets Development at Sedia, okay? So the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to you all. My name is Paweł Smoka. I'm Head of Foreign Market Development in Sedia. We start? Yeah. So Sedia is a technology company based here in Poland. We develop smart city solutions. We're focused on small, smart architecture. Basically, every product that we are making is fully energy independent. We use solar panels to give energy to our products, so we don't need any connection to the grid, and within that solution we are very mobile, so our devices can be used basically everywhere. We've built also safe cities because we gather different kind of data which we share with the city, with the government, so they can use later on this kind of data, such as number of users in particular period of times, so we exactly know in which time of the year, of the day, people are crossing by our products. Okay, next one. Okay, so I will go through some of our products. So our bestseller and flagship product that we have in our portfolio, those are smart benches. We designed 3 different types of solar benches. Each of them are fully energy dependent. They have batteries inside, so we can operate even without any sun. Approximately the time without any sun when we can work with that is about 3-4 days. This is estimated on the usage, of course, and inside of our benches we have routers for the hotspot. so citizens can use free access to the internet. We have environmental sensors, which is very important for nowadays city. So we can measure not only their pollution, but also temperature, humidity, and now we are also working on integration of the noise sensor, because now measuring of the noises across the city is also very important. Also, benches have the USB sockets for charging of the mobile devices and wireless charger, and also audio speaker for any audio announcements or such things. Basically, each our device is also connected with the cloud. So every 10 minutes, we are getting the report from each product, what is going on with the product. So we know how many battery we have left. We know exactly about the users, any interactions basically with the product. So we know when people are using the product. We know the data from the sensors, and later on, city can extract those data to the file, so they can work on those data by their own, how they want to work with the data. Then the thing about our products is for the end user, so for the citizens, we give free energy for charging and also free access to the internet. But for the government, this is a very powerful tool for gathering the data from the city and also from the citizens. Because when we have the hotspot, we can create landing pages of the city, we can create surveys, ask people, so there is a communication between the city and the citizens. This is the platform, the InCity.io, where we have all the data from each device. Here particularly we have the project from Gran Canaria. You can see exactly here the data. So how much we produced energy through the last 30 days, how much we consumed, but also about the users. So basically interactions, it means every push of the button, because on each product we have the button to activate some functions, and also total number of chargings through last 30 days in this particular project. Also we can see some more data from each device. So for example, here we have one of the benches which have now 72%. Those data comes from today's morning, and total number of charging is 12,000 chargings. And this project was implemented last year in June. So a bit more over the year, we have 12,000 of charging of mobile devices. So that's a lot. That's about 900 every month on each product. The next problem and the next thing that we developed is this we find a problem in the micromobility sector. So basically in the transportation, there is a lot of e-scooters now around the town in many different cities and countries, almost in every city. If not from the operators of the e-scooters, we have also our own e-scooters. So basically they are very fast for communication between some parts of the town, available almost everywhere, and also eco-friendly because they're electric. So we don't produce the pollution with them. But the problem is in cities that there's a big mess. So e-scooters are left everywhere basically. The battery replacement, this is a very big problem because operators of the e-scooters need to replace them or charge them. Of course, they are bringing a big diesel vans into the city centers to pick them up, take them to the warehouse outside, and charge them up, and then drop off again. And they usually bring this kind of buses into the city centers, the old one. And this particular picture I took in Hanover 3 months ago. So during the night, they are picking the scooters, push them to the bus to charge them somewhere. Basically, how they charge them with, for example, energy which comes from coal, right? Secondly, the picture from my hometown, from Tychy. So people also are leaving these scooters everywhere, so even in trash. And the next thing, here's the picture from Krakow I took recently. So this is a sidewalk and also crosswalk through the street. As you can see, quite hard to cross by. So we've come with the solution for this problem. This is the station for the micromobility. So basically, within solar energy, we can charge with fully green energy. We can charge e-scooters or e-bikes as well. So they are mobile. We can install them everywhere, and we have two options. So basically, on-grid version, off-grid version, and on-grid one. Basically, they are safe. We can place them everywhere, as I told you, and we can also do the integration with the operators. So basically, each operator can be integrated into the station, and if the city is the owner, they can see exactly which kind of operators are integrated and which kind of e-scooter from which operator are coming to the station. We exactly know that by the open API. And at the end of the month, if the city is the owner of the station, they can send the invoice to the operators for used energy, because the very high cost of the operations of operators of the micromobility are the charging. So we are cutting also the cost for the operators, but giving the opportunity for the city to earn some money, but also to organize the chaos with the e-scooters. So this is some of the pictures. Those are from Rzeszów city and also from the Bielsko-Biała. So here was the first pilot project of our J-Charge. Here you can see also the president of Rzeszów city. So this is the place now for the micromobility, so people know where to leave the e-scooter, and also operators can push the users to leave the e-scooter in the station, and for example they can get some refund or 3 minutes of ride if they left the e-scooter in station. So this is the like win-win-win situation. There are universal. We can build bigger station, not only small, but we can put many of them side by side. They are safe, because when we think about e-scooters and, for example, businesses, offices, employees are coming to the offices by e-scooter. They take them inside the office and start charge them up. For sure, you hear the stories about exploding batteries from the e-scooters or even phones. When we have the station outside the building, we are safe because basically the station is not flammable. So even if something happens, it will, for example, explode outside, not inside the building. Both versions of grid and on-grid, and also that's helping. This kind of solution helps to reduce the traffic in our cities. Because we was focused not only on the benches and micromobility, we also are very focused on the public transportation, which is very important for nowadays city. So what we have is fully energy independent bus shelter with e-paper display. So within that, we can upload new bus scheduling, new public information, which was very helpful during the coronavirus times, because there was new restrictions every day, or even sometimes every hour there was some new information for the public and new restrictions. So that was very helpful, because we can upload by our platform new informations on the e-paper display. And because we use e-paper display, not LCD, we can be fully off-grid. Inside the bench, we have the batteries which collect the energy from the solar panels, and also here we have the Wi-Fi for the connection, audio speaker for audio announcements, which bus will come, and also USB sockets and wireless charger. Also, what is important that we have the solution for real-time information of the e-paper display. So we can integrate our e-paper display with the system of the public transportation in the city, and on the e-paper display it will be shown when exactly the bus is coming. So, next one. Oh, okay. As we are focused basically on the public spaces, we also invented the info kiosk during the coronavirus time. Here we have the 31.2 inches e-paper display. Info kiosk is also solar, but also we have this hand sanitizer station, which maybe not now is not so useful, but you can put the wireless charger or USB sockets as well. So this can be placed also in spaces near the bus shelter when we have already quite new bus shelter, but we don't want to replace them with, for example, solar. We can put this kind of info kiosk for communication between the city and the citizens. Basically, also the heart and all the information that we gather are shown in our platform, as I told you. So here you can manage everything what is related with our product. So you can change the color of the LED. You can see the data about the users, how much of them are charging the mobile device. You can see where the products basically are, because each product is equipped with the GPS system. So if the city have a lot of products, we can easily locate each of them. So basically, as you can see, we are creating the whole network of different devices which builds our cities and basically helps citizens to communicate with the city authorities, for example. We can charge up the mobile device for free, use the internet, which is very helpful for tourists if they are coming to some country foreign. They can exactly see, they can use free access to the internet, and sometimes it's very expensive to use the internet connection. So we are helping to communicate and helping cities to gather some data about users. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, I will be happy to answer them.
Right, thank you very much for the presentation. We're happy to have CDIA's implementation here. And last but not least, Mr. Marek Litwin. Can collecting traffic data save people's lives? From the smart city idea for proactive road safety management. And Mr. Litwin is representing economic advisors team TOR.
Hello, my name is Michał Litwin. I used to be already Marek and Marcin within this event. I would like to confirm that I'm Michał. And I have great pleasure today to represent TOR Transport Consultants Group. And I will display a few slides on collecting data, and we will try to answer the question how collecting data can save people's life. First, few information about TOR Transport Consultants Group. For those of you who don't know Polish language, TOR means a railway track in Polish, and this is our core competence. We started as railway consultants, but then we have turned into also more related to public transport, mobility, infrastructure issues, smart cities as well. We are advisors with over 20 years of experience. right now about 35 consultants and experts. Beyond that, we have a great network of external experts as well. What we do is, apart from providing consulting services, about which I will tell in a moment, we also provide services within communications and media. We organize a lot of conferences, congresses related to mobility. For example, today in Warsaw we have the biggest Polish aviation conference, aviation transport congress. We also do some things related to public transport, to smart mobility. In October there's going to be another congress related to public transport. And we have a lot of portals. Unfortunately for few of you, these portals are only in Polish, right, as for now, related also to public transport, to railways, to mobility. Selection of our clients, these are biggest Polish brands, both private and public. Of course, we also work a lot with local governments when we provide services related to, for example, geospatial analysis. We help local governments to develop mobility plans, different transportation policies, also things related to parking policies, so where to establish parking zones, how much we should charge for parking. We help with e-scooters policies as well. A colleague from CDA has just said, and definitely you are aware of that, this is a great mode of mobility, but also is provoking some problems, and if you have too many scooters, there is a mess with that, and we also can help you with that. And of course, smart city strategies, which is, and this is about, this event is all about. So what is this smart city strategy? Because everyone is talking about, and sometimes we don't have clear understanding of that. We understand smart city as another layer, a smart city strategy as another layer to your basic development strategy. So we focus more on how to achieve the predefined vision, rather than to thinking what to be done. What to be done, what is your vision is your basic strategy, and then smart city is helping to find proper tools how to implement it. Of course, the way of development of this kind of smart city strategy is quite typical, but most important part is this, the second point is diagnosis of current situation, which requires data. I have heard in today's presentations from city of Split, from city of Lutsk, that there is a great trend in gathering information by cities. This is really good because cities are quite natural aggregators of data. At level of city you can have great access to many different actors in local environment, and you can collect the data and then share them, and it's really great to hear that cities are already transferring this data into open data system. This can help a lot. Without data, you can still develop your strategy or smart city, smart mobility, smart city strategy, but the quality is then lower, and as you are based only on your assumptions, on your predefined feelings, rather than on data. One specific type of data is geodata, so data related, multidimensional data within at least one layer is related to geography, to the map. So this is information attached to a particular point on your local map, when you can define where and sometimes when a particular phenomenon is happening. With what it can help you. You can develop plenty of questions in many different areas. These are just examples. Right now we are focusing more on road transportation and road solutions from this geodata, but it can also be used in many different areas of municipal policies related to, for example, management of waste, management of of trees, of green areas. These are further examples and how it can be how it can be used. This is a kind of example. Unfortunately, this is in Polish, but it's geodata which attaches density of habitants, in particular relatively small zones of one of Polish cities with a network of public transport communications. And even having this kind of map, when you have 2 dimensions of data, it already shows you some results and already can help you to make some suggestions and some solutions for your public transport system. Within this project, we are advising to a city which bus lines of public transport should be electrified first. So it's about electric buses. Of course, the assumption was that where is the more dense areas, and then those lines should be first electrified. Second example is picturing relation between railway network in a Polish city and the time which is needed for a pedestrian from particular areas to come to the nearest railway stations, and it was also used to improve local transport policies and adjusting shape of bus lanes. How gathering of this data can look like? So first, it's about capturing development of maps. So you can work on existing open source maps, but also brand new maps can be developed from photos. So it's first about capturing the photos or from video, for example. Then it's transferred into map. The map can be done also not only during days but also at nights, and it can give you also another dimension of information. I will talk about that in a moment. This kind of system can help you to identify particular categories of objects. For example, over here it was about identifying cars and how they are parked. And then these objects are aggregated, so you can count it. So you know how many, for example, you can know easily how many cars are parked illegally, where and when it happens. And this also can help you to adjust your public transport and parking policy solutions. You can capture a lot of data within one video. So whatever is visible, then it can be turned into data in your database. So even if you have kind of assumption that maybe red color cars are more frequently parked illegally, then it's visible a parameter, and you can capture that. Maybe there is kind of statistical relation between this or that. So whatever is visible can be transferred into data. So one video, plenty of data. How this kind of systems can look like, for example, over here for one of Polish cities, we've been trying to come from a photo of a part of the city to define it into particular zones. So algorithm can also help you to define just from the video which surface is used for what. If it is road, if this is bike road, if this is a pavement, or if this is a building, it can be captured, it can be transferred into data, and also you can then develop your analysis based on that. For example, you can measure what's the area of green spaces or what's the area of road, or you can even analyze it much deeper, and I will show that in a moment. Of course, everything is related to resolution of the images of pictures that you can capture. This is also related to the level from what the data can be taken, from the level from which pictures can be taken, and of course the smaller objects you want to analyze, the better resolution you need for your data. Over here, another example, we've been trying to help to a city to make a documentation and inventory of how much I'm missing the word. How much powierzchnia przejścia dla pieszych. Yes, so for example, and if you need to maintain it, for example, today because of quality of and visibility of white spaces, white lanes, or if it can be postponed to another year. Usually you have in your cities kind of regular maintenance plans, but with this data maybe you can also adjust that plans and do it another year and save some money. What is important, this kind of data that can be captured from pictures can be vectorized, so later on it can be used, for example, by engineers for development of buildings or roads. So it's not just a picture and the data, but it can be also used by engineers and professionals. Of course, this is example of from night, so even night pictures can help you with, for example, analyzing where there is not sufficient lighting in your city, and this kind of data also can help you, for example, to improve safety in a city during nights. Key takeaway from this part should be that data should be captured. Data is core of everything in making good decisions, but it's really important first to standardize the data. So, for example, in your municipals, the lower number of formats of the data you have, the better. Then, if the data is shared, it's also very good, not because sometimes we happen to experience the situation that one department of city government or city council doesn't know about the data which another department have. This is not a good situation. The data is there, and the culture of sharing the data is really core, not only with citizens, not only externally, but also internally. Sometimes people think that it's quite obvious that the data is there, so probably everyone should know about that, but this is not the case, unfortunately. And of course, you should update it, and you should update it regularly. And if you can share even information about when the next update of the data will happen, it's also good, because then particular departments, particular companies or citizens can expect this data, can know that, for example, within 2 weeks there's going to be update for the last year, and it also helps to make good decisions. And coming to this topic of this presentation, I would like to display to you a project which we are right now doing with financial help, with financial grant from National Center for Research and Development, government agenda in Poland, which is helping companies and local governments as well to develop innovative R&D projects. We want to build a system of road safety, proactive system of road safety, and our tool is data captured from drones, so videos and pictures from drones that are later on transferred into data. So first, the pyramid of road safety, and the current situation is that actually we have data about road safety, but unfortunately this data is also only limited to situations and to accidents that already has happened. Unfortunately, no one is able today to capture the situations that are potentially dangerous, Sometimes you can even experience this situation and you even don't know that you are participating in this kind of situation. For example, you are pedestrian, you are going on your pavement, and on parallel road someone is driving too fast. You can be reading some message on your mobile, and you even cannot capture that, but the potentially dangerous situation already has happened, and you are really close to that situation. No one is capturing this data today. There are no, this information are not in any official statistics. This is the problem that we are solving. So what we want to do with this data that we are capturing from drones is to capture this kind of situations. We want to apply algorithms, we want to apply artificial intelligence and machine learning methods that can help to describe this kind of situations, that can identify particular factors that can potentially be dangerous, because usually the accident has many different sources, so it's not just one situation and one base reason that the accident has happened. Usually it's mix of different situations. Sometimes it's weather, sometimes it's bad technical condition of your car, for example. Sometimes it's usage of mobile or smartphone can be also additional ingredient. And then if all that situations together happens, then you can experience the accident. So we want to capture these kind of situations proactively before they can happen. With drones and with high-resolution cameras installed on drones, we want to identify and capture mainly cars and buses, trams, or any kind of objects that are moving. We can measure their parameters, their surface, the acceleration, the speed. We can, of course, identify particular zones, particular time zones. So if it is in the morning, if this is peak hour, or if this is maybe at night. Once we have all that data gathered, a machine learning algorithm can help you to identify some danger situations, and based on those potentially dangerous situations, you can react. So if you have that data, then you can think about what can be done with this problem if you have already identified this situation as a problem. So for example, if one of sources of accidents or potentially dangerous situations is illegal parking in particular area, then you can consider many different measures that can be applied. Maybe you need basically additional parking spaces, or maybe on the contrary, you should increase fares, and you can also add some bus lane in this area, and then illegal parking problem will disappear, and this will improve your safety. So this can be a way of usage of this tool. So again, characteristics of this project, of this project and product that will come out of this R&D project is that we can do a full inventory of entire infrastructure and whatever can be visible from drones. Resolution is relatively high, and you can identify plenty of phenomenons and then many parameters related to them, as surface, speed, acceleration, color, frequency of appearance in particular time zones or seasons. For example, something can happen more frequently at winter and not at all at spring. Depending on what is exact problem that you want to solve, of course you can adjust frequency of measures. So sometimes you will need to hire the drone for plenty of hours, and even because you need really constant data from one source. Sometimes you can pick some representative moments over the day, over the year, and this also can be sufficient for particular data sets. And one more picture how it can work. So you can see over here underlying infrastructure. This is just a picture. But also algorithms, this is shown how the algorithms are identifying particular categories of objects. It's identification, it's assignment of all parameters that can be captured, it's aggregation of that data. And based on that, you can start make your proactive, you can start building your proactive system of road management, and you can save a lot of people's lives. You can save also a lot of money because unfortunately maybe this is not a nice message, but also in economy road safety, accidents and lives are also attached to financial value. It's somehow counted, and the less accidents happens, the better for people, the better for the environment, and the better for your local economy as well. If you have any further questions, I'm for your disposal. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to display these few slides for you. Thank you.
Very much. Sorry for the mistake in the name, but Marek Litvin is also involved in a lot of, yeah, I know him as well, so maybe that's why. It's all very interesting. First of all, regarding the first presentation, we are happy to have some CDRs implementation here in Rzeszów, so we know what they are talking about. And second of all, what Tor is doing, we are also working together with the cluster Drone Hub, which has been established recently in Rzeszów, and we are also working with them on the use of drones for the safety and generally for collecting of data. So if you have any questions to either of the presenters, now is the time. If not, that concludes our conference. Thank you very much for attending. Once again, thank you very much to our sister cities who attended personally, and Klagenfurt who was with us online. And thank you very much that you were able to come in this difficult time. I hope this is another, there will be other occasions to meet and to discuss and to further exchange experience in terms of smart city solutions. So once again, thank you very much and have a good weekend, have a good rest of the day here in Rzeszów.